August 26, 2025, began like any other day in Anchorage, Alaska. The sun crept over the horizon, casting a golden glow across the city and illuminating the runways of the airport. At Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport, the day started with the familiar rhythm of arrivals and departures, the hum of engines, and the steady flow of passengers. The terminal buzzed with activity, families returning from summer vacations, business people glued to their laptops, and children laughing as they waited at the gates. Flight attendants moved through the crowds, offering reassuring smiles and comforting nervous travelers, while announcements echoed overhead. Outside, the sky was a flawless blue, and ground crews moved planes with practiced ease, guiding massive jets to their gates and preparing them for journeys across the globe. Anchorage, a vital hub for global logistics and military operations, pulsed with routine. Cargo planes loaded with goods for distant continents shared the tarmac with military vehicles, all part of the airport's daily operations. Pilots ran through their pre-flight checklists in the cockpit, while air traffic controllers in the tower managed the complex ballet of takeoffs and landings. No one suspected anything unusual or out of place. The airport was a microcosm of normalcy, its strategic importance hidden in plain sight, invisible to most travelers who simply waited for their flights, unaware of the world turning around them. But beneath this calm exterior, a subtle tension lingered, an undercurrent that hinted at the fragility of routine. The stage was quietly being set for a crisis that would soon shatter the illusion of safety and normalcy. In a matter of moments, Anchorage would be thrust into the national spotlight, becoming the epicenter of a sudden and unexpected emergency that no one could have predicted. Deep inside the fortified walls of NORAD at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, a place where every blip on the radar is scrutinized and every anomaly is a potential threat, the night began like any other, calm, routine, and meticulously monitored. But then, in the midst of the usual hum of electronics and quiet chatter, a radar operator's eyes locked onto something strange, an anomaly on the screen that defied explanation. The object was moving at a speed that seemed impossible, darting across the radar map with no transponder signal, no identification, and no warning. It was as if it had appeared out of nowhere, ignoring the laws of physics and aviation. It didn't match any known flight plan, nor did it behave like a meteor, drone, or any conventional aircraft. The data was checked and rechecked, but the anomaly persisted, leaving the controllers baffled and uneasy. The operator's urgent alert triggered an immediate escalation. This was no ordinary glitch, and it certainly wasn't a drill. Protocols snapped into action as the room filled with tension and the sense that something unprecedented was unfolding. FAA controllers at Anchorage were notified within seconds. Their voices, usually calm and measured, now carried a sharp edge of urgency as they issued emergency orders, instructing all aircraft in the vicinity to clear the skies without delay. Commercial planes banked away from their flight paths, takeoffs were abruptly halted, and the once busy airport's rhythm came to a sudden, jarring stop. The airspace above Anchorage was now eerily empty. As the object closed in, it became visible from the control tower. A dark, silent shape streaking across the cloudy sky, moving with a purpose that sent chills down the spines of everyone watching. There was no engine noise, no sonic boom, just a chilling, unnatural silence that seemed to press in on the airport, amplifying the sense of dread and uncertainty. Faces in the control tower grew tense, eyes wide with worry as security personnel scanned the sky, searching for answers. The threat was real, immediate, and unlike anything they had ever encountered before. In that moment, the safety of the airport, and everyone in it, was measured in seconds. The unknown had arrived, and no one knew what would happen next. Inside the terminal, confusion erupted as all flights were abruptly delayed. Passengers pressed to windows, watching ground crews abandon posts and vehicles left mid-operation. Panic spread as a silent, menacing object hovered overhead, visible to all. Fear turned to chaos. People ran, exits sealed, staff struggled to maintain order. Security herded crowds away from windows into interior spaces, their voices barely heard over the panic. Children cried, strangers clung together, the air thick with fear. The terminal, once orderly, became a scene of mass hysteria. No one knew what the object was, only that it was here, and they were trapped. The threat outside had become terrifyingly real inside. As panic gripped the terminal, a wave of fear swept through the crowd. Authorities wasted no time, immediately initiating a full code red lockdown. The blaring emergency alerts echoed through the halls, amplifying the sense of urgency and confusion. Passengers clung to their belongings, eyes darting for any sign of safety or escape. State troopers rushed to block every access road leading to the airport. Police cars formed barricades, their lights flashing in the growing dusk. No one was allowed in, and no one could leave. The airport was cut off from the outside world, isolated in a matter of minutes. Armed security teams in full tactical gear swept across the tarmac, moving with precision and urgency. They formed tight defensive lines around the terminal and runways, determined to prevent any breach. The airport grounds became a maze of armed patrols and watchful eyes. Metal shutters slammed down over every window, sealing off the terminal from the outside. Airport tunnels were quickly closed with heavy security barriers, and the control tower transformed into a fortified command bunker, bristling with law enforcement and tense anticipation. The FAA responded swiftly, imposing a 100-mile no-fly zone around Anchorage. The sky, once filled with the constant hum of arriving and departing planes, emptied in moments. All flights were grounded, leaving only the silent, mysterious intruder overhead. Inside, a shelter-in-place order echoed over the loudspeakers. Passengers and staff were told to stay away from windows, to remain calm, and not to exit under any circumstances. Airport staff moved quickly, guiding people to safer areas and offering what reassurance they could. The airport, once a bustling gateway to the world, was now transformed into a fortress, and, for those trapped inside, a cage. Barricades and armed guards stood watch at every entrance, the building itself looming silent and impenetrable. Passengers and staff huddled together, anxiety etched on every face. They peered nervously through the glass, knowing the threat was still out there, hovering just beyond the walls. The sense of being trapped was overwhelming. Anchorage itself was sealed tight, its roads deserted and its airport ringed with police vehicles and barriers. The entire city braced for the unknown, holding its breath as the crisis unfolded. News of the Anchorage crisis raced through national security channels. In Washington, emergency briefings began. The president authorized a nationwide ground stop, every plane in the U.S. ordered to land. The FAA executed the order in minutes, halting over 5,000 flights and diverting international arrivals. Airports nationwide filled with stranded passengers, travel plans, and chaos. The White House confirmed a national security event, offering few details to avoid panic. The message was clear. The threat was real, and the entire nation was on alert. The fear that began in Anchorage now gripped the country. America looked to the skies, uncertain and afraid. Anchorage isn't just an airport. It's a global logistics titan and a military sentinel. Its runways connect Asia, Europe, and North America, making it vital for commerce and defense. An attack here threatens not just Alaska, but the arteries of global trade and U.S. security. The state's military bases are America's first line of defense in the Arctic. The unknown craft's presence exposed a catastrophic vulnerability. Military leaders hesitated. Was it a foreign drone or something else entirely? The nationwide lockdown was a desperate move to contain the threat and prevent chaos. Anchorage's compromise revealed just how fragile even the most fortified outposts can be. After 3 tense hours, the object vanished, shooting skyward, gone in seconds. The ground stop lifted, but chaos lingered. The psychological scars ran deep. The Anchorage anomaly triggered classified investigations and public speculation. Billions lost, vulnerabilities exposed, and the world watched as a superpower was humbled. The military rushed to upgrade detection and defense, confronting the reality of unknown threats. The event was a wake-up call. Security has limits, and the next danger may be unimaginable. For those trapped that day, the sky's mystery became terrifyingly real. August 26, 2025, proved the world is stranger and more vulnerable than we ever believed.